And just like that, we are on episode 23, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. This is the Mike Acuna podcast. And I hope that you guys have been well. Wow, a lot has happened from the last episode where I was speaking to Z Saldua. Please make sure to check that out. Also, I have with me tonight my good friend. Please welcome Daynes Limson. Hi, Daynes.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here. You know, it was so easy to talk to you and have you on the show. I know you're a busy person. The only time that I actually saw you was during the quarantine, and it was kind of creepy when I did this. You parked your car. You had a driver, and then you parked your car in the parking lot. You went in with at the pet store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And then sabi ko,
yeah.
Daynes yun eh. But then
actually it was my father who drove me.
Oh, that was your dad. Okay. Hello, Tito.
Or maybe my brother.
Yeah. But instantly, I sent you the pictures through Messenger. Those are pictures that I took of you from the car that I was driving. So I couldn't say hi. I didn't know how to approach you because all we were told back then was wear masks and stay away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think social distancing was even a thing yet in that time period. Diba? It was scary. But how are you feeling? I know you're a busy person.
And medyo nangangapa pa tayo nun eh.
Oo nga eh.
Yeah.
You said when we were talking offline, sabi mo you're with your team?
I was trying to revamp. I mean, we are my team and I. We're here. We're trying to revamp the website because all of a sudden people are now suddenly interested to having an online store.
Okay. That's something that's definitely seen a lot of growth during the quarantine. What does Dane do?
Mm-hmm.
Who is Dane? Daynes.
Sorry. So I was in distribution for a long time. I think going 14 years now.
Wow.
We started doing SIM swap.
Would you mind repeating that?
And
Zoom is kind of acting up. You were doing what back in college?
Yeah, back in college we were doing SIM swapping.
SIM swap.
So
okay.
we will yes. So we get commissions from every SIM swap we made.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we were just exchanging Globe SIM card to Smart SIM cards.
How do you profit off of that? I may have heard of it, but would you mind giving us a refresher on
expanding?
That? Yeah.
Yes, we will get a commission for the per SIM.
Okay.
That we swap.
Oh,
so for example, if it's 50 pesos per SIM, then that's the commission. Yeah.
So it's getting Globe customers to Smart and vice versa. Is that
exactly.
Right? Okay.
That was the competition between those telco.
Ito ba yung panahon na yung mga SIM card tig 1,000 ganyan? O hindi naman?
Well, actually, medyo mababa naman doon, mga 300.
Pero naalala mo mga SIM cards dati, nung presyo pa nila mga nasa 1,000, 1,500, ganyan.
If you really have a good number, we actually price the SIM card like that. Meron akong binibenta dati 3,500.
Whoa!
Ang number niya is 0918 887 8888. Para siyang KFC.
Oh my God. Pero at the same time, no, 'di ba? Baka may mga tawag ka ring matanggap na kasi hanggang ngayon hindi ko pa rin kabisado yung number ng Shakey's eh. Alam mo 'yun?
Tapos meron pa ako na-encounter 918 222 8888.
Wow. Oh, I would get that number. You know, I would get that number.
Madali siya tandaan eh.
Saka iba yung pera nun eh. Pero ang 3,000 ngayon, it feels ang 3,000 dati parang ngayon parang nasa 5,000. Parang 5,000. It feels like 5,000 eh due to the, inflation,
Well, 500 right now is like 100 if you think about it.
Totoo.
Diba? Parang nag-spend ka lang saglit, kumain ka lang saglit, ay, 500. Gets gone.
Daynes, na banggit mo sa akin a few days ago that you are currently in marketing. What does you do now?
Focus now is more on helping the environment. Yung journey ko nga, nag-simsap ako before, and then we were distributing N series, N70 before. We were cheaper than the mall price. Yeah. And then I switched to pyrotechnics. So a very well-known pyrotechnics brand, which is Dragon Fireworks, it started picking up when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
So college onwards until now, I'm still selling their products.
Do you
So
ever do
it's
Tagaytay?
been, yeah, we do weddings in Tagaytay.
And New
We
Year's
we
Eve
provide the
parties?
permits. Yes, New Year Eve. Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We only allow certain period to book the New Year's Eve countdown. For example, if we will set a deadline. For example, let's say October 31st
Mm-hmm.
onwards, we will not accept any more bookings for Dragon Fireworks like
Yeah,
December 31.
yeah.
Madami na kami masyadong na-deploy nun, ibig sabihin, because we charge a holiday fee for the pyrotechnicians.
Tama, tama, tama.
Kasi hindi sila mag-New Year sa pamilya nila eh.
Tama, tama. There has to
Yeah,
be a
so
certain
yun.
premium paid for that.
Exactly, yes.
So ngayon,
Mm.
how has it affected business for you being in quarantine and the pandemic, doing its thing? Like right now, man, a lot of videos are online. Na medyo nakakalito na eh. Kasi you'd see this
Mm.
country coming up with a so-called vaccine and that other country
Yeah.
coming up with a so-called vaccine. But right now, at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, parang doing what you do and doing what I do, which has a lot to do with events. How has it
Yep.
affected your business so far?
It got affected when order number 28 passed in like executive order number 28, which is like they're against firecrackers.
Yeah, that was the first hit,
So that was the first hit, yes.
right?
It was 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So 2016, and then biglang may nangyari pa nun na very unfortunate for a business. So sabay-sabay siyang parang gumiba
Right. When it
nung
rains
time na yun.
talaga, no?
Kasi, yes. So parang naapektuhan yung pyrotechnics, yung pailaw, dun sa na pinasa na law about firecrackers na ano lang siya, what do you call this? Paingay.
Right.
Kumbaga parang bangers ang tawag namin.
Okay.
Yung sa amin kasi pailaw siya.
Okay. Yeah.
Paakyat yung, and sa taas kami nag-shoot. The plant has 8-hectare land na magkakahiwalay yung warehouse.
Wow.
Yung betcha nun, yung mga quick fire match, yung mga match na color green, yung medyo slow burn. Nakahiwalay lahat yun from the rest of the stocks kasi
Okay.
for safety reasons. And
Right.
the type of bell that we have, pang prisoner siya eh.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi kasi pag may sumabog ng isa lang dun, lahat yun eh, affected. So
Damay. Uh-huh.
still, yes. So the type of security, kaya sila ISO certified. We are ISO certified because of the manufacturing plant itself. Kasi
Okay.
yung bell namin pang prisoner talaga siya eh. Yung tipong pag umeska po.
For those of us who don't know what a bell, what's a bell? Bell
It's like a
for
fire alarm.
Okay.
Fire alarm
Understood.
for any unforeseen explosives na explode or whatever.
Right. Right.
Kasi
Okay.
ang fire, even though pailaw siya, still considered as explosives.
True. True. Yun yung
Yeah.
classification niya. Explosives are still around. Kasi ako I do a lot of New Year's Eve countdowns. I've done one for Sofitel for the last 3 years or so, Escala Tagaytay. And they've always worked with Dragon. You have a lot of loyal customers now. Did you see a decline in the trend when the coronavirus hit?
I cannot really speak for that side because we are in partners with them for distribution.
Mhm.
Yung sa assigned area namin, nag-dip talaga yung sales.
Got it.
So in terms of sales, naramdaman namin siya talaga. Pero I have clients still until now that they still spend 6 digits just to make the family happy.
Yeah,
So,
because
kumbaga, the highlight of their night, ganun siya eh.
it's deeply embedded in Filipino tradition.
Tradition, yes.
Yeah.
Tsaka
You can-
nagpapawala sila ng malas.
Yeah.
I remember 2009, that was my biggest sale ever. Ang net profit namin nun, it's 6 digits.
Wow.
for 5 days operations.
Jesus
So,
Christ. Wow.
ibig sabihin nabayaran ko na lahat yung dapat kong bayaran, bayad sa tao, bayad sa renta. Aside sa renta dun sa place, bayad sa government, yung mga permits. Because we abide by the rules na to permit to sell ang tawag
Yeah. As you
sa
should.
krame.
Yeah.
Mm.
As you should. As you
So,
should.
yun. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So you've been working with Dragon Fireworks for how long now?
14.
14 years.
14. I think I started 2006. And then
Wow.
I was still entertaining corporate jobs before because with Dragon Fireworks, I only have to email the plant na may kliyente ako
Mm-hmm.
dito.
Mm-hmm.
May kliyente ako sa kunyari, let's say Boracay, may kliyente ako for example.
Yeah.
We will coordinate with an authorized operator in Cebu so
Mm-hmm.
that we don't have to take care of logistics.
Okay.
So sila na lang ang mag-facilitate. So ano na lang, usap-usapan na lang.
I want to step back from that real quick and ask you about your journey as a person. How was it for you growing up?
I grew up in a very, kumbaga parang yung mom ko lagi nagluluto siya.
Is she a
So,
chef of some sort?
well, Kapampangan siya eh. So,
Oh
mahilig
yeah.
siyang luto.
Yeah, yeah. And if I may add lang, sa
Mm,
mga lalaki, I heard na sa mga lalaking Kapampangan, do you call them
mm.
Pampangueños? Uh, Kapag hindi ka marunong magluto, tapos lalaki ka, ano yun? Parang
It's
hindi
a
kita,
no-no.
it's hindi sa kasiraan eh. Pero parang kakulangan siya para sa isang lalaki na taga Pampanga.
Mm,
Ganun.
right. I grew up in a home where my dad is really not there because expat siya eh. So for a long time, my mom has been like the mother father. Parang siya yung laging nagko-cook. Tapos ko ng work, nandiyan nakaabang naman yung dinner, ganyan. Because surprisingly, some households they don't do that for their kids.
Uh-huh.
Surprisingly, nung medyo nakahiwalay na ako sa kanila,
Mhm.
na I was paying my own bills, I was ganyan. Syempre pag pagod ka sa trabaho, hindi mo na-appreciate minsan na meron na nakahain na pagkain, right? So, nung time na mag-isa lang ako, sabi ko, oh my God, ang laking bagay pala nung ginagawa ng mom ko na nakahain yung pagkain ko dyan
Mhm.
after work. Di ba?
Mhm.
Basically, I grew up in a very active home when it comes to food. Kaya hindi ako na-excite when it comes to buffet.
I
Parang,
can see that.
when it comes to food talaga, ano siya eh, I think parang dun ko na-realize na when I was paying for my own bills and I was paying for my groceries and shit like that, parang na-realize ko, whoa, in fairness kay mommy tsaka kay daddy.
Mhm. Did you ever get bullied as a kid?
Bullied with my sexuality.
When did
I'm
that
not
kick?
easily bullied kasi ano ko eh, wala akong pakialam.
Well, I
Uh,
wouldn't say na wala kang pakialam in the way that you're indifferent. I can tell that you're a really spiritual person, and I appreciate that about you. Always have. And
Thank you.
it's not that you are indifferent to people. You're indifferent to people's bullshit. You are because
Yes.
you've had your share of bad days that were caused by you
Mm-hmm.
and by other people. So you know how
Yeah.
bullshit works. You know how the system is designed somehow to make you fail to a certain extent. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
designed to make you fail to a
I
certain extent.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Yep, yep. So
Mm.
are we easing our way into it? You were. I remember in one of our conversations. Okay, that you were perceived. I'm not sure if it was treated or perceived as the odd one out in your family or the black sheep in your clan, something like that. Did I hear that? Did I
Mm-hmm.
understand that correctly?
Not to put them in a bad light, huh? I'm just saying na we were in a different, like, for example, if you cannot compare an apple to the orange, right? So parang
Right.
ganun yung argument eh. Parang sometimes people don't see your point of view just because they didn't experience it. So it's hard for them to actually imagine where you're coming from if they didn't go through it.
Understood. What were some of the disagreements? These disagreements, did they occur in conversations, or was this an opposition of principles? How was
I
it like for
think
you?
I think it was the question of always who's right. What's your concept of right is probably different for another person because the culture in their home is different.
Definitely,
So
definitely, 100%.
so dun pa lang may division na eh. The moment you said that the person is wrong or the person is right, dun ka nagka-cause ng division instead of you just listening to them. Oh, why did you like come up with that truth, right?
Right.
So because it's different for everyone. So for example, if yung magbabalot eh nakaka-feel pala siya ng arthritis niya every time na na naglalakad siya at naglalako siya diyan ng mga balot. Those little things they don't even see that. I'm just like amazed with people like how they point someone else like or somebody else like wrong
Mm-hmm.
and then they to the point of bullying over comments. It's
Right.
just that parang why don't I have the right to voice out what I think? Parang ganun eh.
Which is the
So it's
entire,
like
it's the entire point of being human. You know,
mm-hmm.
it's being able to freely express yourself, be open to judgment, prejudice, and also other people's opinions, which might change your mind ultimately. And that's the whole
Yep.
healthy discourse of things. But there's no need to actually be prejudiced. A lot of
Instead of asking the why question, they always like, yeah, like in attack mode. Like this is the reason why I believe in healing.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. We will get to that, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm.
So, all our listeners, we will get to that. And you will know ultimately why I have Daynes on the show. We are barely scratching the surface right now. So, truths are different for people. It's a person to person basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say are some of the most valuable struggles that you've ever encountered in life? Enlightenment has to have deep roots, roots that reach all the way to hell. So no one is
Uh-huh.
perfect, right? No one is perfect,
Yeah.
but at the same
Yes.
time, that struggle, it either one eats you up, and that becomes the rest of your life, or you
Yes.
realize, okay, shit, there's something I'm doing wrong here. That's why I keep on suffering. What were some of the struggles
Mm-hmm.
that woke you up?
Well, for one, let's start with the root cause.
Okay.
Um, if I'm gonna dive into why I did the things that I did, it's because number one, I was rejected because of my sexuality, and it hurt me because it came from my mother.
Okay. At
So
what age did
basically,
you
because
I'm sorry.
mhm,
At what age did you find this out? Just a side question.
when I was 16,
All right. Understood. Okay. Please
yeah,
continue.
16, I came out, and then all of a sudden we were fighting ever since. It was a cycle. It became hard for me because without me even knowing, I was actually looking for love outside without even like healing myself yet to with those discrimination. When I found out na ganun nga siya na yun yung root cause, that's why I'm always out of the house. I'm always like I'm more at home at outside. It's
Hmm.
because it's because of that root cause. It's because of rejection. I didn't specifically like thought about that before. Pero nung medyo parang bakit nga ba ako nasa labas lagi? Yung may
Okay.
ganun level.
So there
So
came a
yeah.
point of introspection. There was an introspection
Mm-hmm.
where you asked yourself, okay, why am I doing all the things that I'm doing? Why do I have all the habits that I have? Why am I doing this? What's the point? And you realized that that was you seeking affection, maybe validation externally, not from within. Did we hang? Okay. There's a bit of a lag in the connection. Let's wait for Daynes to come back. She's just right there.
Yeah,
There we go. Signs of life. All right. Welcome to the Zoom era. It is going to
okay.
happen during the podcast, so it's fine. All our listeners would understand. Daynes, are you there? It says your internet connection is unstable. Okay. Hold, and she's back. All right, cool. Let's wait for it to simmer down. Let's give it a few seconds.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
there was a point in time in your life where introspection was encouraged. You wondered why you had all these habits, why you were doing what you were doing, and what the point was in all of that. So for some people, it hits them like a ton of bricks. How did it hit you? Like, what were your realizations after that?
Well, nagkaroon lang siya ng amplification. Kumbaga na-amplify lang yung ganung mindset when I was always outside of the house, and I stayed in that house at least a month or 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I witnessed different kinds of like family culture,
Right.
and
Was it a mixed
I
family?
noticed or it, may mga families ako na encounter na they're in a very ano sila eh, mga ano A to C, and
Okay.
then in marketing it's A to C, right? So
Mm-hmm.
meron din ako mga nakitang families na mga B and E. It's a mix. This is the reason why I love Pirates of the Caribbean. It's
Okay.
because ano lang eh, whatever the tide, like, wherever the tide goes, kumbaga parang dun lang I'm gonna go there.
Okay.
So I think at the end of the day, love took me to where I am now, actually. So it's all about love.
That's right. Yung love kasi, it has different manifestations eh. It could be affectionate love. It could be romantic.
Yeah.
It could be filial, family, ganyan. It could be grace from the universe,
Yeah.
from God, right? Like,
Yeah.
pwede namang two doors, right? One is door letter A, door letter B, and then there's a guiding grace that tells you, okay, the right door is door letter B. You could have gone. You were sure. You were sure that door letter A was the right one, but for some reason, something came over you and took you to door B, which is the correct door, right? The analogy is you're sure that you were not gonna fuck up your life, even though you already were fucking up your life. I know that it happened to me. I'm sure that if I keep this up, if I keep the bullshit or the belief system that I had back when I was 19, 20, that it was not gonna make my life any worse. How wrong was I? How wrong was I?
Yeah. Well, for me, I got attracted with symbols.
Symbols.
With
That's interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, with symbology. I mean Freemason symbols. The symbol of the Knights Templar. I got interested with various stages in history because when you experience something evil, you will actually question where did we come from?
Yeah, what
Right?
was the origin
So it's
of all of this?
yeah. Yeah, and why are we living like this? I mean, everything is provided for if you come to think of it. It's a realization, and it's slowly diving into that rabbit hole where,
Yeah.
where you actually don't know how deep it is. It's just that you just keep on searching and searching and searching until when it presents itself, it's so overwhelming, and then
But at the same
you
time,
will
you see
come
the
to light.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the
Kumbaga
sunset.
ipapakita niya how dark it is eh. And then bigla
Yeah.
kanyang iaangat, biglang may light. Ganun siya.
I think a lot of that has to do with the innate duality in not just nature, but man, which is part of nature.
Yeah.
So everyone, for example, you'll see this emanating outward. Like,
Mm.
okay, let's start with something as, relevant, significant as cancel culture. Even if they've been a long-time fan of yours, let's say that you are a rock star, right? Daynes Limson, the rock star, right? And you have a following. And then there's this one thing that they find out about you. It Wala silang pakialam kung kailan lang to, kahit matagal na to o ngayon, wala silang pakialam. Pero after
Mm.
that, you're done. It could be a scandal, it could be utang na di mo binayaran, it could be anything that would paint you
Yeah.
as the the non-mystic being. It demystifies people. It disenchants people. So
Uh-huh.
the question I have is, okay, I don't read a lot of the Bible, but it goes something like, let he who has not sinned cast the first stone. I don't know anyone who is a
Mm-hmm.
shooter na ganun kalinis, na ganun kabait. I
Uh,
mean, the expectation that people have nowadays of each other, or at least the people that they look up to, is just non-realistic.
mm-hmm.
It's not
I
it's
know.
not realistic.
At some point, you will fail, and sometimes those failures came from you being young and stupid,
Correct.
and people will judge you for that.
Correct. Correct. In the States, then, have you heard of this? A lot of people
What about it?
are tearing down the statues. They're tearing down the
Really?
statues. Yeah, they want.
I've been out of the loop because we were trying to like revamp the site.
Yeah, understood. You're like I said, you're a
Mm.
busy person. Someone actually, I listened. I was listening to David Icke, right? He's
Oh yeah.
yeah. I've been listening to him for a long time. He did say na, you know what? Instead of removing, okay, kung ayaw mo dito sa taong to, this black person who was revered for a long time, meron nga siyang estatwa.
Mm.
If you find out shit about this person that you don't like or was actually just plain wrong, why are you gonna tear
Mm.
down the statue? Why not just put a plaque on it? Diba? Put a plaque on it. Explain.
Yeah.
No, which explains. Kasi there are some people who have. Okay, here we go with the rabbit hole. Holy shit. Uh, there are some people who actually want us to forget the past and they want us
Uh-huh.
to tear down our own history because they
Yeah.
want to do what they've been doing to us for the longest time in the modern setting. And if you don't know what your history is, if you don't know the components that make up that society, then
Uh-huh.
it'll be much easier to acquiesce to them.
Yeah.
Right, you've heard about
I
it.
I
You know what I'm
I hear
talking
you.
about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
talking about.
started yeah, I started questioning that when I was 13 actually.
So
I
this
felt
was
that
way
there's
before
something
you went out
yeah,
or
way
you came out.
before I came yeah, way before I came out,
Yeah.
way before I got into so many um like I experienced evil in terms of business transactions, friendships, everything. There's something wrong that in this kind of world where you have to earn paper just for you to eat.
Okay, listeners, listen up, take notes. Okay, all
It's
right.
backwards, right?
Paper.
It's
All
like
right. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Danes is onto something here.
yeah, so you have to earn
Good stuff.
paper,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
right? You have to earn paper just for you to eat instead of you planting and just eat. I mean, everything is provided for. I mean, the soil has life, and what we're doing now is like we're destroying everything we touch. Instead of you cultivating the soil for you to grow more food and for everyone to have this abundant state, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the complete opposite of that.
Understood. One would argue that, yeah, Danes, you're saying all of that. It's easier said than done because you can't plant on concrete. All right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Why is everyone fucking going vegan? Di ba?
do
Why?
you want to go into that?
Di ba? Di ba?
Yeah.
Let's explain it to them. Um,
Hmm.
are first things first. I want to ask: are you vegan?
Well, I'm trying to eat more natural food, like
Natural food.
not
There we go.
processed.
There we
Yes.
go. There we
Yes.
go. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
non-processed anything. All right. Like, what are your thoughts on
Mm-hmm.
that? Why is everybody turning vegan? Are they finding out something nasty about these corporations that make our food? Like, what's happening?
I think it's the extra sugar, maybe,
Yeah.
and MSG, all the chemicals that it's not supposed to be in your body, I think. So with this one, I'm not a nutritionist, pero pag nakita mo yung ibang family nila, family, and then you stay there for 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
there are different kinds of refrigerator, like yung laman nila.
Really? It's
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
If you've been to a wealthy family,
I
like
have.
like
Yeah.
A to C, right?
Yeah. They have
Their
the double
their food
doors.
is, yeah,
You open the
they have
refrigerator
really
like this.
different, yeah, different food, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Different sets ng food done, and it's healthy. It's not, most of them, it's not processed.
Holy
So
shit.
so yung sa ref naman ng mga DE or whatever, it's very different. Everything is on Tetra Pak. It's processed.
It's in plastic.
It's sugar.
Right.
Yeah, it's and it's in sa delata siya.
Uh-huh.
So ang dami na ng nadaanan nun.
Right. Right.
So I know I will like get many hate comments regarding this topic. It's just that you have to eat healthy for yourself. I mean, whatever you eat, that's how your brain will actually function.
Understood. And it's not just the
Yeah.
hate comments. It's just it could be comments that oppose the concept that we are introducing. And
Mm-hmm.
and we're not even really advocates of this. It's just we are. Ikaw nga, sinabi mo, you're in the process of transitioning from eating like you used to, and
Mm-hmm.
now you're trying to be healthy, right? Okay.
Yeah.
May mapaisip ka rin, 'di ba? With all
Mm.
of these documentaries coming out, man, where are those titles when I need them? But I was watching something about it was on Netflix, and it encouraged people to go vegan because you will have the same firepower in terms of strength and even more because
I think I
they
know
broke
that
it down.
episode. Yeah.
It's just one show wherein they talk about the similarities of the human body and how it's actually very, very similar to a plant, how a plant processes
Yeah.
food, takes in energy. So
Yes.
I think at some point in that documentary, they even say that we are closer to plants than we are to
We
ape.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, which
We are.
is
Kaya nga spiral yung fingerprint mo eh. Kasi pag chinop off mo yung tree, spiral din siya eh.
shit.
I mean,
True.
we're veins. May veins din sila. So,
That's right. That's right.
mm.
Wow. I was uh I was also watching another documentary about man, he's a politician. He's an American politician. Al Gore. Al
Oh
Gore.
yeah,
Ice caps are melting.
the the ugly truth, something.
The
No, no, the inconvenient truth.
An inconvenient
An
truth.
inconvenient truth. Yeah.
Yeah, tapos it had a part 2. May part
Mm-hmm.
2 siya. Have you seen it?
Nope.
All right.
I
But
haven't.
since but
I will
since
catch up.
since 2012, have you noticed we've gone from 31 being the hottest summer in the Philippines. That's 2012.
Oh, recently?
No,
2000.
2012. From 2012, the
Oh, okay.
hottest, yung pinakamainit natin was about 31, 32. And now,
Yeah.
just a few weeks ago, we hit 40, 41, 42. Jesus Christ. So,
I'm not sure if what I read was accurate, but I read about Earth cycles.
what about Earth cycles?
So
What are those?
yeah, Earth cycles. Sometimes the Earth is really cold,
Uh-huh.
and then sometimes the earth is really hot, and then it just so happens that we are in this lifetime that it's really hot.
Oh, so it's not just
Mm.
seasons. These are long periods of time in the world's history.
Yeah, cycles. Mm.
Ah,
Para siyang, I don't know how to like give an analogy or something, but it's like the Mayan calendar, the 26,000 year cycle of life.
got it.
Parang ganun siya.
Got it. Got
Mm.
it. Okay. So it's we're zooming
Mm.
out of seasons. It's okay. 50 years it's going to be hot. 50 years it's going to be cold. Or it's not necessarily the same
Most
duration.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And probably whoever's in control, they know how to control the temperature.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure.
Not just that. Not just not just that. There's a man to get. We'll cover that in a separate conversation because this is not going to be the
Mm-hmm.
first and last time that Danes and I are going to be talking on a podcast. Wink, wink. So let's take a breather from that topic. You have advocacies. You have advocacies
Mm.
that you engage with on a regular basis. How did you get into that? Like, what was the pushing force behind you joining those advocacies?
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
No, no, not a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, we are trying to help farmers
Mm-hmm.
to direct the harvest to end
Mm-hmm.
consumer.
Right, right.
So right now we're not going to launch it anytime soon. Probably I'm not sure, maybe August or September.
In what form is it
But
gonna manifest? Anong for? Is it going to
well,
be an app?
we're trying to do a sign up for all farmers out there. We want them to direct their crops to the end consumer, and we're just going to be the software to bridge it.
Oh, so this is going to be an app. Is that right?
An app, a mobile app, yeah.
Ah,
We're trying to still, of course, in order for you to do a mobile app, you have to have funding because it's not easy to do, right?
right, right.
So basically, we're trying to generate funding so that we can actually do the mobile app for farmers,
Mm-hmm.
and we will be showcasing their crops there, and we just, as a software, we just earn from ads, basically.
Hindi na kayo magko-commission from the
Well,
sale.
well, I think in terms of operations,
Mm-hmm.
sa una, syempre mag-charge kasi hindi naman libre yung hosting mo
Understood.
ng
Understood.
software, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So you have also like in a perfect world, why not? We're not gonna charge, right?
yeah, yeah.
But in a not so perfect world, we have to charge a certain amount so that we can actually do this.
Right.
And in the long run, once people are, I mean, seeing what we do, definitely they will see that we are all for helping, and definitely eventually they will appreciate what we're doing, and we can, I mean, they can support it by just directing to the farmers.
I hope that works out. Nasa ang stage na kayo ng development of the app.
We're trying to develop the e-commerce site.
E-commerce site.
So
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, the e-commerce site. The way we approach it is going to be different because we want the drivers to be the new middlemen.
Understood.
So it's already happening now because they're the ones delivering the goods, right? We want to have a separate platform for farmers so that we can actually give back. We will have a farmer conference each year. Probably, pag kailangan nila ng kalabaw, why not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, pag nagpa-raffle kami ng kalabaw, baka, 'di ba, makatulong pa kami na iangat yung agricultural scene sa Philippines kasi people nowadays, they don't love their soil eh. I mean, medyo nakalimutan natin yung roots natin.
Understood.
So,
So
yeah.
you've been pretty much for the latter part of your life, you've come out, what were some of the struggles that you went through? Because 16, you were still a kid. You coming out. and it was not. I don't think we had the internet back then to kind of def- for us to be able to defend one another as human beings. So
Uh-huh.
what were some of the things that that you experienced which made it tough to be part of the community with pride?
Oh, with pride.
Yeah.
Um, oh my God, I experienced so many discrimination, not just with my like own family. It's also outside, and it's hard to get the job, ha. Kapag
Really?
pag medyo alam nila na ano ka na LGBT ka.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and especially if the boss is expecting you to be girly girly.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's true. That's true though. Like, kasi
mm,
I worked in the BPO community. There are a lot of gay people.
mm,
They're pretty dominant in this country. They have a
yeah.
big voice in this country, and they are loved by everybody pretty much. And I was
Mm,
working in the BPO industry. There was a an upgrade when it comes to non-discriminatory gestures that are also shown by the company, which is pwede ka nang pumasok wearing a woman's clothes if you were gay,
that's good.
right?
Yeah.
Diba? So okay, that's good. Do you remember that topic where they wanted, okay, women and men do sa bathrooms, like they wanted an own, like how do you think that's going to affect? um
I have a like a separate opinion on
Go
that.
for it. Go for it.
Um, because what if what if nagpanggap lang yung lalaki na transgender pala siya, and then he's allowed to enter a woman's, I mean, CR or restroom.
Tama.
So isn't that dangerous for women? Like
That's right. That's right.
there's
And,
rape out there. I mean, it's
and
not
in the,
really that safe.
and also in the same breath, this rarely fucking happens, but there's also
Mm.
women out there who are predatory. And what it,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
actually.
bakit, if they pretend to be, for example, a lesbian and they enter the men's room, right? And this person is
Why can't we have a third CR? It's so fucking easy.
understood. Understood. Yeah. The whole thing that we're fighting for, I think, is predicated on not being heard. That's why we we we're only people are only finding their voice now. The LGBTQ
Mm,
plus community is only finding their voice now. I mean, it's been several years, but apparently, you know, it has to be heard more. And people have to enter a
mm,
mindset wherein they're open enough to actually have respect for their fellow human beings of this community, for them to be able to uh, put it in a position na it's a non-corruptible state. No one here
mm-hmm,
is going to, but it's so hard because I read earlier, it's not it's I think in the beginning it's supposed to be an exclusive, LGBTQ plus community. But do you know na pedophiles actually want to be part of your community? Did you
what?
know that?
No.
Yeah, yeah. It was in an article, and I saw this on Twitter. I have a lot of gay friends. Actually, people of the LGBTQ plus community who are my friends, and they're upstanding
Mm.
people. They're good Filipinos, but yeah, like where do we draw the line? Just because, yeah, the
I
would
think they're just making like fun of us because I don't know, because if you dive into the teachings, right? You
Mhm.
have to unite the feminine and the masculine side within you.
True.
So I think us being present in this world is actually
It's pretty disruptive. It
yeah,
disrupts
disruptive.
it disrupts the agenda, and the people are getting smarter. people are, yeah,
Mm,
waking up. People are waking up, man.
yeah, it disrupts the agenda. That's what. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I only believe that someone is quote unquote woke if you
Mm-hmm.
would see if you would see their intentions are predicated on the good and not necessarily to abolish, unless it's something worth abolishing. Yeah, like racial discrimination or
Yeah.
even sexual prejudice. All right,
Mm-hmm.
but if you are advocating for that and you are trying to go about it in a really peaceful way still, that's how you get
Mm-hmm.
people to rally behind you. Like Martin Luther King.
Actually,
Martin Luther King never carried a gun.
I never believed in a violent act if you have
Yeah.
something to fight for. Yeah. Well, best example is Rizal. Sinulat lang niya.
Oh yeah, you were telling
It's
me.
just it's yeah, sinulat lang ni Rizal about what he knows in a novel, right? And all of a sudden they want him dead.
It's because he made people think.
Exactly.
He made people wonder, and the agenda, the 1%
Yeah.
doesn't want you doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I'm scared when I'm looking at Twitter and I'm looking at people, also heterosexual people, kahit heterosexual people. They're just very scornful of the government.
Mm-hmm.
The parang they just really want you on the fucking crucifix. They want you crucified. You know, you can't
Yeah.
do. Man, like even science, even as a study as divine as science is trial and error.
Yeah.
It's based on that. A lot of testing.
So
A lot of
kumbaga yung innocent comments mo biglang nagiging rawr. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Pagka ano,
they call that microaggression.
I hope as a race, like Filipino race, at least I hope we actually eliminate that kind of culture.
Yeah, yeah. And as humans,
Yeah,
like ultimately,
kasi kasi how can you like affect good if yung isa hindi siya hindi rin siya nagro-row, parang rowing yan eh.
right?
If hindi siya nagro-row, paano mo how can you get to your goal?
And you're just leaving the paddle on the water,
Yeah,
and
sabi nga ni
you're just
Iron Man, 'di
dragging the
ba?
whole boat.
Privatize world peace.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
how can you do that if there's someone there that he's not rowing.
so para sa'yo, a lot of us
Hmm.
have trauma. It could be something that happened recently. It could be in our childhood. How did you get over or get past your fears or your biggest trauma? You can state what it is, or you can choose to not state what it is. But what were some of the things that were key in helping you get over your trauma?
I got over, I mean, a lot of traumas, but I'm still getting over some of it. I'm
Mhm.
not entirely. Um, I'm in this process of healing where I'm still like 80%. Uh, I think I'm 80% healed, and then 20% I still need to do I mean pacify the triggers
Yes,
because there are triggers and there will always be triggers. It's just that you just have to pacify those and manage those triggers so that you won't have this I don't know maybe anxiety or it's different. Sometimes you just really shut off from the world just for you to heal.
right.
So it's about being mindful of your own state on where you are and and just knowing how much work pa yung kailangan.
So
So yeah, ganun lang
it's a
siya.
matter for you of just really realizing that this is an inside job, and this is
Yeah.
not a job for anyone else but you. And sometimes you gotta suck it up, soldier on,
Mm-hmm.
be brave, know
Yeah.
that there's a light at the end of that tunnel, and you're gonna come out victorious on the other end.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful.
Hmm.
So how does
So I think the self-help books really help, and
which
also movies, and
which
I
ones
like
did you
the
watch?
subtle art of not giving a fuck. Um,
Who's the
I
author of that
watched The
again?
Matrix.
Who's the author of
Uh,
that book again?
Mark's, I don't know, Mark something.
All
I
right.
don't know, Steve something. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
The Matrix is a
Yeah, but
perfect fucking movie. The Matrix is
yeah,
kaya like it blew my mind. And sometimes
nagsimula nga ako ng 13 ako eh. The Matrix. It was
talaga.
1999.
Oh yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
remember. You've got good memory. But that was such a perfect analogy of everything that people should realize. There's layers
Mm-hmm.
to that fucker. There's layers and layers
Yeah.
to that movie. The Wachowski brothers. Would it be still okay to call them the Wachowski brothers? Aren't they sisters now? Which would be the politically correct?
Well, well, I call them Wachowski brothers, even
Okay.
though si Lana yun, di ba?
Yeah, I
Lana
think
Wachowski.
they'll always be the awesome Wachowski brothers to us. It was such a life changing,
Ah,
diba? That franchise
yeah.
was something else. And
At saka ang ganda ng pagkakagawa ng script because filmmaking is really hard. And I'm just blown away on like the execution, everything, the lines.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Hmm?
Saka, I deciphered something that I want to share with you.
Mm.
And this is
Okay.
something that I didn't need the help of Google for, okay? Okay. So Neo, the one, right? That's
Ah.
Keanu's character, first meets Morpheus. Do you know the
Mm-hmm.
what the meaning of name the name Morpheus stands for? You know the etymology of Morpheus?
No.
It's transformation.
Ah, kasi morph.
Morph, yeah,
Yeah.
right, right. So
Mm.
Morpheus is the transformation, makes him choose between the red pill and the blue pill, right? He chooses the right pill. Like the Trinity is the love interest of the one,
Yeah.
Neo. But he had
Mm-hmm.
to he had to deconstruct himself through Morpheus. And in deconstructing himself, he found his truth strengths, right? And like the Wachowski brothers really blew my mind with this. So there's a duality between Mr. Anderson and Neo, right? Neo
Mm-hmm.
is the true self, right?
Okay.
The self. And who's sino yung villain dun? Sino yung villain dun?
Si Agent Smith.
Agent fucking Smith. Right. He's taken on a Matrix name, just like Mr. Anderson. You will never ever
Okay.
call. He's the only character who you will, if you review the
Yeah.
film, he's the
Yeah.
only character who
Mr.
would
Anderson.
never call Mr. Anderson Neo.
Neo, yes.
And he doesn't want you to call yourself Neo, or not for you to realize that name. Your real name is Neo.
Yeah, because he's the system.
Yeah.
Siyempre,
Diba?
ayaw niya malaman mo na ikaw yung the one eh.
Yeah, that you've always had that
Na,
power.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
everyone. It was Pride Day yesterday. And is that something that you actively partake in?
Well, to be honest, I'm not really a fan of huge crowds.
Understood.
I'm a fan when I'm speaking.
Hmm.
pero me parading, okay lang, makikiparade ako, pero not to the point of staying there kasi umaabot yung ano eh, kasi like umaabot talaga sila ng sobrang dami na
Right,
you
right.
can't get out. Mm-mm.
Yeah, sea of
And then
people, seas of
yeah,
people.
yeah, I'm one of those people who will participate, who will support, and then just go home. That's it.
Well,
Or makikipag-inuman ako pag gabing-gabi na, ganun.
yeah, which is better, diba?
Mm.
As we were speaking, um, you're very familiar with Catch. You're very familiar with Big Sky. Do you know Moksha? It's this place in San Juan.
Okay.
Do you know that place? Because Kat,
I've heard of it.
our friend Kat Fabon,
Yeah.
It's a lot like
Okay.
Big Sky. It's a lot like Catch in that it's got cozy lighting, great food, cheap drinks, and sometimes you have your occasional bands. And my good friend, si Tao. Do you know Tao Reyes?
No,
Oh, okay, that's
tao.
fine. That's
Si
Tao
tao.
Aves. Yeah, yeah. Hi Tao.
Yeah.
Sana okay lang kayo. We can't wait for Catch's comeback. We miss you.
Yeah.
Seryoso. So
Mm.
Tao
Oh,
just
so
sent
you've
me.
heard.
Yeah, the fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's just it started from
Super
the
awful.
and Kat went there that same afternoon. I think
Mm.
Kat Fabon was there and she was actually on the field updating the Big Sky folks.
Eh, buti nga nakaka-rescue sila dun eh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sana nga
Mm.
makabalik sila. Because the last update that
Yeah.
I heard from Catch's Instagram is they're talking to the landlord and they're fixing the paperwork to have it rebuilt or something like that. Or it could be
Yeah,
just
they should. Or
yeah,
maybe 50-50 expenses. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Because we would always be there for places like that. It's
Oo
also a
naman.
place. Yeah, it didn't plan to be an LGBTQ favorite place. You know what I mean? They weren't positioning themselves to be like that. They just they just have a really really good intention of having everyone welcome in a place that is free from sexual or gender prejudice, which is something that I really admire
Mm.
them for being a heterosexual male. Kaya
Yeah.
kay Tao, to all the bartenders na nandun, sila Nina, who else? Who else
Mm.
are there? Basta lahat ng tao na nasa catch, we can't wait for you guys to get back on your feet and we miss you. We look forward to being there again. Ayun.
Yep.
I want to circle back to one of the things you mentioned earlier. How did you first
Mm-hmm.
encounter symbols? What piqued your curiosity for symbols?
More on feeling because I felt that there's something wrong really with how this whole thing works, right? And then I
Mhm.
started questioning, and then I watched the Matrix movie,
All
and then
right.
all of a sudden it made sense because
Mm-hmm.
there's this line Morpheus said that you are a slave, Neo, like everyone else. You were born to a prison that you cannot smell, taste, or touch.
To feel,
A
yeah.
prison for your mind. Yeah.
Did
So
say
a
that, yeah.
prison for your mind. That thing alone, it made me question my whole surrounding, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So ganun ka-powerful yung line na yun, even the way they executed it. More on questioning what what we've been taught
Yeah,
and more on questioning how things work and why do we do it, right?
yeah. What's the point?
So yeah, what's the point? I made the seeking an addiction, right? It's like I seek and I never fell in love with any of my research. So I just read and read and read like super dami. And then I watched documentaries as well, ganyan.
Mm-hmm.
And then hindi ko naman wala naman akong sinasadya na I will actually like piece all together the puzzle like all together even in the movies. If you know this knowledge pala, everything nagma-manifest sila dun sa nag-translate dun sa art nila.
Yeah, just like the actors in The
Every
Matrix.
yes.
Yeah.
So basically kapag alam mo yung knowledge na yun, and if you seek it, and of course you when you seek and seek you'll find, right?
Yeah.
And then
Bro.
when you find it,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be troubled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you get troubled, makaka-recover ka rin dun eventually, and then
Mm-hmm.
you will come to light, something like that. Yan yung sinasabi nila lagi, you will come to light.
Understood.
So it's a classic saying when somebody is enlightened. parang, she has come to light, something like that. May mga common phrase siya. So, kumbaga yung that alone, that yung pag-discover mo ng history, on where we came from, why are we in this kind of state,
Mm-hmm.
it will make you surprise ka how history affects everything that we have now.
The
So this is why you cannot make your move if you haven't studied something from the past.
in
So yeah.
reverence to the past, in reverence to the past, we will make our future, right?
Yes.
Which I wanted to, because we touched a bit on the duality of the human being,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now you get all sorts of opinions about the natural duality of things, the yin and yang. Pero
Yeah. Even sa Freemasons, meron silang checkered fur, di ba?
the what?
When you enter a Masonic lodge,
Uh-huh.
this is a documentary that I watched. Like because I'm interested mainly before symbology, eh.
Mm-hmm,
And they
mm-hmm.
have a lot of symbols. They have a lot. They have this apron. They have this compass with the triangle and the G, right?
Yes, yes.
So dun din nag-start yung journey ko on what are these symbols? Why are they so obsessed with symbols?
Right.
So, the next start yung journey. So, yung pala, yung checkered floor, para din siyang yin and yang. The dualities
Mm,
of life, the life and death, day and night, in and
right.
out.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are dual. So, once you recognize that about yourself, you will now be careful with your choices. Is it gonna manifest the good? Is it gonna manifest the bad? Or kapag ginawa ko ba yung bad, magiging good ba yung outcome? Parang ganun eh. It's how you manifest things.
Right. Right.
Kaya nga, di ba sa Doctor Strange,
Mm-hmm.
meron nga line dun eh. To serve the light, to serve the shadows.
Oh, okay. Danes,
Parang may
Danes, you're
may
going to
may
have
may
to
ganung line.
you're going to have to say that again, because I think the CIA is hearing this conversation. They're trying to block what you're saying. Would you mind repeating that for everybody?
Yeah,
The saying. What was that
see,
again?
Tilda Swinton, diba, is the ancient one in Doctor Strange, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then when she died, I caught this line in yung line niya doon na sometimes in order for us to serve the light, we serve the shadow, something like that.
Ah. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
parang I know it's not verbatim, but it's parang ano siya eh. It's a breadcrumbs.
It's cryptic.
So
That's right. That's right.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think they have good reason to be like that, because you know that I figured it out there. Do you know that or sorry, that question, na does life imitate art or does art imitate life? Ikaw, anong sagot mo
Mm.
dun?
I think art imitates life.
I agree.
I think.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Kasi hindi
Um,
ka makaka-come up with that, like for example, The Matrix, it's really a good script, and V for Vendetta is really a good script, huh?
yeah, yeah,
Like, but they have really good scripts, lines in the movie na, oh, ano, ideas are bulletproof.
yeah, yeah.
When you plant an idea, parang Inception, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
When you plant something in the mind, it will grow.
Mm-hmm.
So, yan, medyo ganun yung mga genre ng movies na pinapanood ko eh. V for Vendetta, The Matrix, The
Tsaka,
Godfather.
like, life came first.
Mm. Yeah.
Life came first, diba?
Yeah.
With those and there's a reason why they call it esoteric, and there's a reason why they call it occult knowledge. It's because
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing, that it's the same scenario that's happening now when you think about it, because if you are to tell people, for example, that they are not the humans are not the ultimate sentient beings in the universe, it would be just, it would be foolish for us to think that we are the, on the apex of the predatorial, chain, right? That we are the ultimate hunters, right? Or the ultimate predators. It's
Mm-hmm.
just foolish. It's just foolish. That then what is the universe for? And no one
Yeah,
has been able to.
and I think a lot of people are underestimating the mysticism of things.
Yep.
So it's life, it's breath. So life is sown to all. Kumbaga parang kung ikaw yung bad seed, ma-affect mo lahat. Unlike kapag lagi mo lang minamanifest yung good and good and good,
Yeah.
people will, I mean, it's gonna be beneficial for
Hmm.
everyone as a whole.
Hmm.
Ganun siya eh.
Thoughts become words,
Ganun
words
siya.
become actions, actions become character, character becomes destiny. And
Yeah,
uh,
kaya nga sabi nila, 'di ba, words are spells
that's
because
why
it's
it's called spell.
spelling.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The way you say things is also going to affect like people in a positive way or in a negative way. Ganun siya.
Right, right. It's not just how you say what you say. Sometimes it's also, if you want to take that extra mile, it's the timing of when you say it, you know, because that
Mm,
also
I
comes
have to
into play.
agree. Yeah.
And
Yes.
doon sa Wi-Fi, ang una ko naalala, ang una kong naisip, si Nikola Tesla. Because he said that, if you find out that the world works in terms of frequencies, not words, not just words, then you'll find out the meaning.
Mm.
So, oh my God, are we in the rabbit hole? Are we in it
We
now?
are.
We are. We've been in the rabbit hole. Um, is there a way that you've thought about the LGBTQ actually breaking through and making themselves? I think the scenario I'm thinking about is for them to actually stop protesting, to get them to a point where they have to stop protesting. You know what I
LGBT.
mean? Yeah. I want to see them get to a point where they don't have to do rallies and protests anymore. And the
Where it
world is just,
becomes legal and equal for everyone.
yes, wala nang prejudice. Wala nang
Yeah.
prejudice, there's nothing in the back of people's minds saying na, okay, pag bakla, ganito yan. Kapag tomboy, which is, I've never, I've never understood why they call it tomboy. Tomboy is just basically boyish.
Boyish, yeah.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
The correct term, I think, the politically correct term is lesbian, right?
Yep.
And transsexuals, pansexuals,
But
bisexuals.
I think it's just labels. For one, it's just for me. It's just labels. For me, people can actually. I highly suggest that they explore their sexuality so that you can combine so many things in your within yourself. But of course, I have respect for people who have like just this preference and just this preference.
And wala silang sinasagasaang ibang tao. You know,
Exactly.
importante yun. Kasi right now it's in a
Mm.
really, I wouldn't say as fragile as years ago when you actually had to fight for it.
I
Ngayon,
know,
there
right?
there is momentum.
Nung time nga ng 1930s, disease daw kami.
Yeah, yeah.
Kailangan namin electrocute, gano'n, yung brain.
Yeah, that, and I've also heard about people calling it gender dysmorphia, and I honestly don't know what that's about, but it's being
Gender
positioned as a mental
dysphoria,
illness.
yeah, gender dysphoria is what a transgender female or man feels. More on like they feel that they are trapped in a woman's body or in a man's body.
Okay,
So
so
they
you were
feel
born in
that
the wrong body.
yes, they should
Gotcha,
feel that they're supposed to be in a woman's body. So
gotcha.
that's why they're called transgender because they don't consider themselves lesbians or gay guys. They consider
Mhm.
themselves the other kumbaga the other gender na kumbaga kung lalaki siya, kino-consider niya babae siya. Kung lesbian naman siya, babae siya, kino-consider niya na lalaki siya.
I know a guy who was gay for some time, and then
Mhm.
he switched back to being a heterosexual male.
Okay.
Is do you know of any?
He's gay at
Yep,
first,
yep,
and
yep. He's the
then
first.
he
Like when,
switched to being hetero.
yep, yep,
Well, good. Okay, go. Why not?
yeah. It's a free world, right?
Yeah,
It's a free world.
yeah. Why not?
It's just that I've you'd hear more cases of heterosexual males turning into gay people or in a gay to a gay man
Mm-hmm.
than the other
Mm-hmm.
way around. You know, so
Okay.
like, do
I
you
think if
know?
it's the other way around, they have like I don't know. Maybe they have like bad experience and like manifest on. It could be anything, eh? Because it
So
depends on the psychology.
so basically, yeah, tama. So basically, it's trauma induced. It could be trauma induced.
Yeah.
That's something that you experienced being a gay person. That's what made you flip into a heterosexual male.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Pwede.
All right.
There's so many possibilities. Sabi nga nila, diba, there are million like ways to get to how to where you are. It's just that
Right.
kanya-kanya lang
Totoo. Being the spiritual person that you are, what are some spiritual habits that you have acquired from the time that you started exploring your spirituality and wanted to apply it?
hmm. Oh
Do you
my
meditate?
God. I think as simple as hailing a cab, I thank the Lord.
Can you walk us through that?
I made it. Maybe I made a habit of like a grateful mind.
Okay, so gratitude, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Gratitude, right? We're
Because if you are more thankful with the little things in your life, you will be more happy.
oh yeah, definitely, 100%, 100%.
Mm.
I want to see the contrast. Pre-gratitude stage need Danes. Like, were you a wild child? Were you happy-go-lucky? Like, what
I
was?
was. Yeah, I mean, I think I I think I started traveling na mga high school pa lang eh. Hindi na ako umuwi ng bahay mga 4 a.m. ganyan.
You were out with
No, I
friends?
was just out with friends, yeah. We were
Oh,
doing, I mean, so many things. Like,
right.
being young and stupid.
Young and stupid.
Magtatagaytay kami or, yeah, kung ano-ano ginagawa namin.
So,
Minsan magstay lang kami sa isang bahay and kung ano yung trip nila, magi-gaming or whatever. Madalas kasi nagiinuman kami. It's just that I really have low alcohol tolerance. Umaabot sila ng hanggang dawn.
okay.
Ako mga ano pa lang, siguro mga 2 a.m. pa lang, 3 a.m. lang. Tinulungan ko na silang lahat.
I have the same thing with weed. I have
Oh
the
yeah.
same thing with weed. I mean, there were times when I was also trying to explore on things, and one of them was weed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
in those three separate times that I tried weed, walang good trip. Pare, walang sleep trip.
We lagged a bit.
Food. Sorry, can you hear me now? So, walang sleep trip, walang food trip, walang laugh trip, lahat bad trip. Pucha, nahuli ako nung pinsan nagiinuman kami noon eh. Nahuli ako nung isang pinsan ng barkada ko
Wait,
na nakatira doon.
did you try it when you were drunk na?
Yeah. pero there was one time,
Ah.
pero there was one time when when I was totally sober. This was with my friend si Chi. He made me try it. Sabi niya, inhale mo to. Tapos don't let it out yet. Now blow it out. So I did. And then, man, I was having cold sweats, and I was hallucinating. There were like all of these geometric patterns that I didn't understand then, but
Mm-hmm.
I was on the cusp of making that jump of that,
Really?
and seeing that vision of the geometric shapes.
How young were you?
Oh, that was back in, oh man, I'd say 2000, 2009. Sobrang tagal na. 2009. Mga ganun
I
pa.
I think Ondoy days yan, Ondoy.
Mga ganun. Yeah, yeah. So I was
Mm.
so I was scared to touch that thing again. I haven't touched it since then. Kasi all sorts of stupid shit happened to me. Like there was one time my dad, my own father, had to pick me up at the ER because I was too fucking high. Ganon kasama, pare.
Really?
Yeah, ganon kasama.
So, so anong comment ng dad mo about
No,
you?
never said a thing. He probably never touched it
Really?
himself. Probably never touched it himself because the first time was when it was early in the morning, and I thought it was just like cigarettes. So my classmate in high school,
Mm.
this was in fourth year high school, I was fucking graduating, and then nandun sila sa 7-Eleven sa kanto, and they were just, they just rolled one up and said, oh, kunya, try mo na to. So I tried it, and then
Okay.
umakyat ako dun sa seventh floor. Walang elevator yung school namin eh. So my heartbeat was elevated, and I can feel the weed just going around in my bloodstream. It was doing its thing, right? And before I knew it, before the test that we were supposed to take, that I studied for that test.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing.
Okay.
I was already laughing. Tapos the next thing I knew, it was just I was blacking in and out of reality. Tapos, ang nangyari was I was in the principal's office, and I had my dad had to pick me up, and the next thing I blacked out again. Next thing I know, I was on my sister's bed, and
Mm.
I felt like shit. I had cotton mouth. I was dehydrated, obviously. So I
You
know,
never take it when you're drunk.
I know. Pero I took it twice. I tried it twice twice sober and once drunk.
And
I
which
don't know.
one feels better?
Well, at least dun sa nung inabutan ako sa school, may laugh trip ako ng konti.
Uh-huh.
Pero gusto ko may
So
experience.
that this was when the time you didn't drink anything. It's just
I didn't drink anything.
purely there you go.
I was in my school uniform. As in, hindi pa pumapasok
Mm.
ng eskwela. Papasok pa lang ng eskwela yun. Ayun.
Oh,
Ay, what's
great.
Danes, what's one thing that you wish people knew?
Hmm. That they are gods and goddesses.
Gods and
We
goddesses
are,
in that.
yeah, I may joke about it, but yeah, we are powerful beings with amnesia.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There was an eclipse. There was an eclipse that caused our amnesia. There was a blackout,
Maybe.
the blacking out of the sun, which took out
Mm-hmm.
our godlike attributes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
pero up to this day, when people
Mm.
say spirituality, they quickly think like, okay, you're praising, you gotta have a god, who's your Jesus? Is it Buddha or is it Krishna? Pero spiritual is something personal, eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba?
Yep. It's in
In
the head. Yeah, God's temple. Yeah.
God's temple. God's temple. Ay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think that's where your thoughts reside.
No
Kasi
doubt.
it starts with an idea, everything. I
Yes.
mean, they will not come up with this fucked up system if it wasn't. I mean, if it doesn't come from somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah. And the point that I've been trying to make about duality is you'd see that we are both good and bad.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Like you'd see if you've had enough experiences in life, you'd know how much of an asshole you can be, how heartless you can be,
Mm-hmm.
how you can conjure up really bad thoughts and have it manifest for another person's detriment or demise, right? But at the same
Yep.
time, that same person is capable of compassion, of of being able to share and actually, caring for everyone and everything.
I
Let's
think
Yeah.
people should recognize that they're both. once they recognize that they are both,
Yeah.
I think they will be more conscious with their choices in life.
I think a lot of people are starting to wake up, and it's just that right now it's pretty fucking chaotic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the images, okay, when you're waking up, you're on your path to enlightenment. It doesn't mean that you have to defile or um, take down or abolish other gods, right? That's not one
Yeah,
of
I
the things that
just
I
you
would.
still, of course, you have to respect other people's thought process or
Understood.
how
Understood.
they found their truth, right?
That's right.
Because it's really different for everyone, and ang boring nun kapag magkakaparehas kayo ng experience.
Yeah.
Parang, parang
Totoo.
anong contribution mo? Ah, same tayo ng contribution. Ah, okay.
Which is never ever ano eh, which is
Yeah,
never ever
it
the
was
case
never
eh.
effective. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're okay. We're the same stream of consciousness having different experiences in our own bodies.
Yeah, this is the reason why in movies there's multi-dimensional experiences or time travel. When you think of life as a woman or as a person, right?
Hmm.
I think life is experiencing different forms of lenses. I call
Right.
it lenses because we have different set of eyes,
Yeah.
like how we see things.
Hmm. Because not a
Yeah.
lot of people want to work that hard. They think it's not part of their job as a human being because
Mm.
we've been conditioned to self-identify.
Mm.
Self-identify in a way na, hi, my name.
And we've been conditioned that we are forgiven.
Oh yeah, that too. Forgiving to a fault.
Yeah.
Forgiving to a fault.
Yeah.
Forgiven. Forgiven. Yeah, forgiven by
Oh,
the.
forgiven na wala kang dapat nagawin. Dapat okay, okay ka na kasi forgiven ka na eh.
But who
Ganun.
determines it? Who determines it?
Right?
Ikaw din naman. Pero di ba? Sorry, but yeah. The thing about that is, I was gonna say,
Mm.
you know, the choice really lies in people. It's just that we were conditioned.
Mm.
We were conditioned to think that we don't have the power, and therefore we can't be
Yeah,
compassionate, and therefore we can't go the extra mile for this person and do something nice that other people would actually appreciate. Diba?
exactly.
It's just it's a sad thing to behold. Self
I think
identification.
at the end of the day people should look within and start working on that, and then it will manifest collectively talaga.
Because it
It's
is
it's
infectious.
it's it has to be every one of us.
Oh yeah,
Na
yeah, yeah.
even though ang dami niyang mga bad rap, it's just that his work, it has truth in it.
I think Michael Jackson is has always been a suppressed empath who only had music as his
Mm-hmm.
outlet, and music may not have been enough. And I don't know, like it could have been. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna
I don't
stop.
know.
All right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you
Madaming
go
ano
in a
dun eh,
bit.
madaming worms dun eh.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's not open that
Mm-hmm.
box. Let's not open that box.
Yep.
But if I may share, there's a book that I've been reading. I've been reading this, um, "The Secret History of the World" by Jonathan
Wow.
Black.
This is interesting.
Yes, and it's got oh hold on, it's got illustrations
And
inside.
there's the all-seeing eye.
Yeah,
Sa
so
logo.
there are illustrations
Oh.
there. It actually takes you
So
back.
para bang manly pihol yan, yung mga the secret book of ano, parang the secret teachings of all ages.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I haven't. Who? Sino yan? Who? Okay.
Manly P. Hall.
Manly
The
P.
secret teachings of all ages. Ayan.
Secret. Hold on, let me write that down. Okay, so this Jonathan
Mm.
Black says at the back of this book, "How will the world end? Is the Antichrist coming, or is he already here?" Jonathan Black considers all these questions and many more in the fascinating new edition, which will change the way you see the world. And this reminded me a lot of you.
Mm.
From mystic
Yep.
revelations to esoteric codes, and symbols. Here is a story of the world based upon the beliefs of the secret societies, a radical reinterpretation of human existence, and a view of the world previously hidden from us. Huh? Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be munching on that as I go to sleep tonight. Anyone you want to say hi to?
I'll say hi to Catch People and my creative director, Xander Brew.
Okay. Hey, Sandra.
And yes,
Yeah.
and to Miss Niza St. Clair.
Nice as St. Clair. Yeah. Mhm.
I'll say hi to Kim. Hello, Kim.
Hello, Kim.
Yes,
Hope you're in
and
a
Kat
good state.
Favon, Tao Aves, Apple,
Yeah.
Catch People,
Hello to all
Mondo,
of
Elsie, hello.
Mondo and Elsie. Yeah. How are they?
I'm 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 watching their podcast,
Oh, they have a
Elsie.
podcast.
I think they yeah, it's
Okay.
every Monday.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow, I did not
Mm.
know that. Everyone's podcasting now. God damn it. Ayoko na nga mag-podcast.
Di
But
kailangan ng ano ng podcast kasi may mga conversations na hindi natatap.
right, right, right.
I think what we need is like passing on the knowledge and passing on the light,
Oh, definitely.
I think.
Definitely. Passing on the light.
Mm-hmm.
But in a
Mm-hmm.
world such as this, wherein you're living in an age where technology is freely available to almost everyone, and it makes it that easier for someone to oppose good intentions, this
Mm-hmm.
person of a light,
Yeah.
right? What is your ultimate weapon for that?
Like negative
Okay,
about
here
things.
you are. Here you are saying, I have nothing but good intentions for you, but you've been, in a way, not in these exact words, okay, but you've been lied to. The system is flawed. It will not work. It's actually against us. Start picking yourself up. You are a god. You are a goddess, and you have the power within you. And then one person will come along and say, what you speak of are fallacies.
I want to debate with that person.
Okay,
Yeah.
debate with
Kasi
compassion,
ang
of
dami,
course. Yeah,
yeah, of course, with
yeah,
respect. I
with
mean,
compassion.
you can actually disagree with someone with respect.
Well, to think that we're predominantly Christian, it's sometimes
Yeah.
I mean I'm still Catholic, but sometimes I wonder,
Yeah.
is the community is the as big as it is still representing the Christ in Christianity? Gets mo? Because Christ is
I think they have to know that they are powerful beings, but without Christ, it's nothing.
all
Mm-hmm.
right. So,
Mm-hmm.
Danes, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much again for being on this podcast. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, your insights, your
Thank you.
information that you
Pag
shared
tayo
today.
nag-podcast, kailangan
Oh yeah,
medyo may ano,
ah,
kailangan natin nang i-dive in yung mga dapat natin i-dive in.
I know. I just don't want to. I just don't want to. Have people thinking, and listening. Okay, this is Mike is giving us shock therapy right now. Like I can't get a hold of the information and the influx of information that's coming in right now from Danes and Mike. But yeah,
Yeah.
if people are excited for things such as spirituality and it's really more of a. It's not profound. It's really more of a simplification of things.
Actually,
Uh,
yes, because a lot of people have this misconception that religion and spirituality is the same thing. It should. I mean, I think people in general should be spiritual and not religious.
Yeah. And
So,
especially if it's an
mm-hmm.
organized religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's
Uh-huh.
here's I'll share something with you, just some parting shots before we go. Um,
Okay.
one question that makes people stop when I ask them this about Christ. Here's the question:
Okay.
like, where in the Bible would you find the entries of where Christ went after he got mad at the temple? Because there was a like dun sa templo, di ba, nagalit siya. Like he was saying,
Uh-huh.
this is not right, this is blasphemous, and this goes against the will of God, my Father, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he got mad, and that was the only entry of him getting mad at people. He never really hurt anyone. Not at least not directly. Hindi ko alam kung may tumalsik naman
Oh,
sa
nagwala lang siya
kuya.
doon, ganun.
Oh, diba? Diba? That was a manifestation of anger, and anger is a very low frequency of vibration, and um, so they stop. They stop. Okay, why don't we look this way? And then I asked them, what if Christ actually went to Tibet to meditate? What if he learned about the intricacies of the human being and how to unlock that with the key of that key to divinity? Because when he came back, he was not sheep. He was actually divine. He came back as Christ. He was Jesus when he left. He was Jesus Christ when he came back. That's when he.
Yeah, it's a title. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when he showed extreme compassion, just forgiveness and sharing and more forgiveness. And at the end of it all, he ascended to heaven. And what
I
if?
think it's an allegory. I think it's a metaphorical thing that you will ascend once you come to light.
Yep, it could be. It could be that. But also,
Yeah, it's that feeling of ascension where you just ascended from that dark place you're in and
yep.
dark place you discovered,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden, boom, it's an ascension to the light. It's like that. I think it's an allegory of
Could be that.
you ascending to the
It could be that. It could be.
because anyone can be Christ. Anyone. It's a title. It's in Greek. It means the anointed one.
Yeah.
So
Kristala,
anybody,
the light.
Christos.
Yeah, Krista. It could
Yeah.
be the older version of that would be Kristala, which means carrier of light.
Yep.
Yeah, but Christos, yes.
So I think it's been sensationalized who are the Illuminatis, but actually, if you are enlightened, you are the Illuminati. But are you going to oppress or are you going to help? It's
That's
just
right.
that it's
Are you
it's
going to
both,
stand
right?
up? Yeah, are you going to stand up for what you believe in, or which is predicated on love, compassion, enlightenment,
Yeah,
or
are you gonna spread the light or are you gonna hide the light from everyone?
yeah,
It's like that.
are you
Yeah.
going to acquiesce, diba? So yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Danes, again, I can't thank you enough for being on this podcast and sharing what you've shared
Yeah.
with us. I hope I didn't keep you too much
Thank
from work.
you. Can I have a quick shout out?
Oh yeah, please. Please go ahead.
Please check us out. Brandrobin.com.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's on there? What
we do warehousing and order fulfillment for online stores.
nice.
So it's for
Online
e-commerce.
store.
Kasi ang dami na nawawalan ng trabaho ngayon.
Oh yeah, man.
So basically, people will go into digital. They will definitely have this online store.
Mm-hmm.
And then normally, ayaw nilang intindihin yung back-end solution.
Yeah.
Ayaw nilang intindihin yung packing per order number and then ship it out to the customer. They don't want to go through
Sorting
that
and all that.
hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorting and
Yeah.
kitting, right?
Yeah.
So basically, that's what we do. So brandrobin.com, and we can house so many products. We can actually push the brand online with our digital strategy services as well.
Gotcha. Do they have a promo code that they can enter? So they
Actually, I will reserve that in probably in a later announcement because we will actually introduce a workshop for people, an e-commerce guide, complete e-commerce guide 2020.
Gotcha.
So it's going to have a software that they can use to automate their processes.
Gotcha.
Parang i-include din namin siya, parang yan.
That's pretty neat, and I'm thinking that's going to be helpful for a lot of people, especially if this is going to be part of the new normal. I haven't fully embraced the new normal, but if this is going to be part of the new normal and it's going to make you money and it's going to help people in the process, people who have been,
to generate jobs.
yeah, people, especially people who have been displaced. I feel for those.
Exactly.
I feel for those people because it
Mm.
feels like I do events all the time. I'm surrounded by people all the time, and now this fucking thing happens, and I feel like I'm also displaced. I'm not earning anything,
I
so
know.
I feel for
And
them.
we try as an entrepreneur, we try to generate jobs as possible, as many jobs as possible.
Oh, man, thank God for
Yeah.
you. Oh, thank God's for you. All right. Thank you so much,
Boom.
Danes. Yes. You know what? I don't be surprised. To all our listeners, if you please don't be surprised if there's going to be a part two between me and Danes. We're going to take a deep dive into some of the things that interest us, and hopefully you guys dive in with us. So this has been part one between me and
Mm-hmm.
Danes, and we're gonna have Danes again real soon. But right now, we're gonna have to let her go because she is a busy person. You gotta appreciate that about an entrepreneur who's trying to give people jobs. So thank you so much, Dane. Have a great
Thank you,
evening.
Mike.
Yes, light and love to
You
you.
too.
All right,
Yep,
bye
you too.
bye.
Like and love.